Hello and welcome back to the Angry Dave podcast. This is Dave, and I'm here with my next guest, who is a very special guest. He was a friend of my dad's. We met hunting when I was maybe 11 or 12 years old in upstate Pennsylvania. His name is Cletus Antonio Swearigan, and he's here. I haven't seen Cletus in a long time. We used to call him Uncle Cletus. I think most people call him Lee. Uncle Cletus?
Howdy, y'all. Hey, Dave, it's really nice to see you. It's been a long time, buddy. It's been a long time. How you been?
I've been good, brother. I've been good.
Yeah, it's good to see you, man. It's good to see you.
So the first question I usually ask everybody is if they have any Angry Dave stories. You knew me when I was younger. Do you have any Angry Dave stories that you recall?
Any Angry Dave stories, huh?
Yes, sir.
So, I actually got a couple, I think. You know, I met you and your daddy and your uncles hunting. We used to hunt up in Northeast PA there. Together, I guess when was that? In the late 80s, early 90s?
Yep.
So I remember you as just a little squirt. You may be 12, 13 years old. And I remember you getting in an argument with your daddy over shooting a gun. And he didn't think you were shooting it right or something. He was trying to help you. And you got all mad and butthurt for no reason. And you walked away from him. You stormed away. And I'm like, Dave, you want me to go get him? You know, talking to Big Dave, talking to your daddy. And he's like, no, let him go, he'll be fine. And then like 30 minutes go by and you don't come back. And then we had to go searching for you. You dumbass got lost in the woods. You remember that, Dave?
I remember.
Yeah. I also remember one time, I think, we were in a bar, first night of hunting of deer season, and we were watching a football game. I guess it was an Eagles game because you all were Eagles fans.
Oh, I think I remember this one.
The guys that we were hunting with, there were some guys from Philly that were there, but they were rooting for the other team. I think it was the Redskins.
It definitely was the Redskins.
I think it was the Redskins. I think it was that game where the Eagles won it. And there was a whole bunch of people that got hurt for the Redskins, like a body bag game or something.
Yeah, that's right.
And the guy from Philly that was rooting for the Redskins, he was talking shit on the food there. I think they had some cheesesteaks, and you were eating the cheesesteaks, and he was talking shit on the Eagles, and you told him to go fuck himself. Yeah, and the guy shut up. Maybe that guy was like 40 years old. Everybody started laughing when little fucking squirter you just told him to go fuck himself and shut up. I think you told him. You remember that?
I do remember that.
Yeah, you were a little whippersnapper, buddy. You were a little whippersnapper.
Oh, fuck that guy. That guy was a dick. He was a dick. So let's start from the beginning, man. Let's talk about where it all started. What year were you born? You know, where were you born? Let's talk about that.
Well, I was born in Wheeling, West Virginia in March 1st of 1949. I don't remember much of Wheeling. My daddy was a coal miner there.
Okay.
And in 1950, there was a big strike and all. And we moved out of there. And we moved to Delaware.
Got it.
Now, I didn't know my mom. I was an only child there, right? And my daddy told me that my mom died during childbirth.
Oh, wow.
So I come to find out much later, after my daddy passed away, that actually my mom didn't die of childbirth.
Wow.
But I was born from an affair. See?
Oh, wow.
And my daddy really got out of. He took the baby, took me, and went to Delaware.
Fuck.
I grew up in northern central Delaware
Yeah.
on a farm. His uncle had a farm. We went there and we lived out on his uncle's farm, Uncle Johnny. And so I didn't know my mother. I thought my mom was dead
That's awful.
until I was 18 years old. My dad had passed away when I was 16. He had a heart attack.
Jesus.
So his uncle, kind of raised me the last couple of years, whatever, and let me finish high school. And then when I finished high school, he gave me a letter from my dad telling him about my mom. So, yeah. So that's how it started. I basically grew up on a farm. My uncle had some older kids that were cousins of my dad. So, they were my cousins, but they were like my dad's age, a little bit younger, like in their 20s by the time I got there. My dad was in his 40s when he had me. And apparently my mama, she was around 42. She had some older kids and they got caught up in an affair, and I don't know too much about those details, but I just grew up on a farm life. I went to school. I got up early. We made corn there, and we made watermelons mostly. We did have some cows and stuff, some pigs, but they were mostly to eat.
Yeah.
So I cut up 100 cows in my life and slaughtered some pigs, and had all that stuff. We had some chickens for the eggs and stuff. So we basically subsistence farming. We made our own food there. My aunt Dolores, she was very nice to me. My daddy was real nice to me too. I had a good, quiet childhood.
What were you like as a young kid, like a middle schooler?
I think my daddy would have said I was a good kid. A good kid. I just did what I was supposed to do and think nothing of it. I had good support there. My daddy was a good man. I mean, he didn't even drink much, and we always, played ball together. He would have a catch with me on downtime, and we'd talk about sports, and we had a good old relationship. But mostly just working on the farm and doing farm stuff, and then going to school.
What were you like in high school?
Yeah, well, same thing in high school. I really wasn't a bad kid. I didn't really do much. There wasn't really much to do. I didn't know very many people other than the family.
About girls?
I didn't kind of get into girls until later, until I left home. See, so my dad had died at 16. It was very, very traumatic. Very sudden. I didn't know. He just one day I woke up and my aunt told me not to go in the room, and my dad was dead. And he had a heart attack overnight. Or getting out of bed, and fell down. They rushed him to the hospital, but he was already dead. And then so my aunt and uncle didn't say anything to me about my mama or about anybody like that until I graduated high school. I turned 18, in March. And then when I graduated high school, and then they gave me the letter from my daddy, and they told me that they always promised him that anything ever happened to him, that they would give him this letter, but they would wait until I was an adult. So, yeah, I pretty much, I had saved some money. My dad did have a life insurance policy, so that was nice. I had some money to go, and I signed I left Dolores and Uncle Johnny at 18 years old. I had a car, bought a little car, and I just drove. I just went. I went on my way. I did stop down in Wheeling, went down to West Virginia to try to find my mama, And, I went around there for a little bit and asked around a little bit, but I never found her. Not sure ever what happened. I know she had some kids. I never met any of my family. So I went out west.
Where was your first stop?
So now, I was 18 years old in 1967.
Okay.
And there was a lot of shit going on back then, boy. You know what I mean?
I heard that.
So I went out to California. Yep. Yeah, it was a great summer that summer. Yeah, boy. Certainly. I was in a lot of music. The summer of love, hanging out, Monterey Jazz Festival.
Were you at that festival?
Goddamn right I was there. Having a good old time. I know you're not going to believe this, but me and Janis Joplin, Monterey Jazz Festival, we got together. Lou Rawls was watching. Just saying, that's my claim to fame right there, buddy.
Motherfucker.
Janis Joplin, Monterey Jazz Festival, 1967. I was there. I stuck it in her several times. I mean, she was a good old time. She was a good old time. She probably had sex with 3 other men that night. I don't know. But we had a good old time. Yeah, Lou Rawls was standing right there watching the whole fucking time. Fucking weirdo. Yeah, so I stayed in Southern California, bounced around to San Francisco, went up there. Did that for a while, maybe 5 or 6 years. And, that scene got a little bit out of control, so I needed to calm myself down.
Where did you go?
So I moved down to San Diego. San Diego was a more like conservative town.
Right.
You can go there, and I thought I could calm down. It was a Navy town.
Right.
So I actually worked for the Department of Navy. I got a job down there, which basically being a janitor, cleaning bathrooms. I had learned the guitar as a little boy, and I had a guitar with me, and I basically hung out at the local bars, did my job during the day cleaning, and then worked on my guitar and learning how to play the guitar, basically trying to stay out of trouble. That was nice, but I left there. So let's see. I was 18 when I got out to California. I left that San Francisco scene by the time I was like 20, 21, and then I went over to San Diego, try to settle myself down a little bit. Excuse me. And then, I was there until I think I was like 24, 1973. Yeah, I left San Diego there in 1973.
Why did you leave San Diego if you liked it so much?
It's a tough one to talk about, really. I had a lady there in San Diego. She was married. We used to see each other. I saw her on the base, and then we start hanging out at the bar. And when her husband wasn't around, her husband was an admiral.
An admiral.
So
yikes.
Yeah, I was very much in love with that young lady. Very, very much in love. She was really, really my first love. My first love. I had a little girlfriend in high school for a little bit, but I did some crazy stuff in San Francisco, where I wet my willie for the first time. Janis Joplin being number 2, Janis Joplin. But this young lady, Maria, I don't want to tell you her last name. I don't know if she's still alive or not. But she was a couple years older than me. She was a young bride, married to an admiral who was, not around much. He was mean to her. And we fell in love. I loved her. I really, really loved her. But, we got caught. The admiral came home one day, and I was in the house there. I mean, we weren't naked or anything. Well, I was there. And, Yeah, it wasn't good. And, it was a Navy town. He didn't, I ran out of there, but he saw me and tried to chase me down. Again, that was in the big Navy town. So, I got fired. I got fired from the Department of Navy right quick there, and I had to get out of there. He was sending people out to try to get me and all kinds of crazy shit. So, yeah, good old Maria. I miss that woman. My very first love.
What did you do after San Diego?
So I left there and I moved to Las Vegas in 1973. And again, I got a job working at the casino, doing janitor work, cleaning bathrooms. Got to see lots of shows, clean the bathroom up the event centers there. We worked at different casinos. I actually did some street performing there too, and got hooked up with a carnival where I would be like in the dunk tank. I did that for a while. That was fun. I got to make fun of people, call them stupid and fat, and then they would try to hit me and call them sissies. It was great. You can call people sissies back then, boy. I don't know about now, but you sure could back then. So yeah.
How long were you in Vegas?
And so I stayed there for like 10 years. I had a real nice time there. About 5 or 6 years in, I got into a relationship with a much older woman. Yeah, she was a retired lady that moved out from New York City, and she had a bunch of money. Her husband was older and he had passed away, and she was just looking for a good time. We were together for, 5 or 6 years there. I think I met her in, let's see, I got there in 73, maybe 77 or 77. We started to get together, and we got married in 1979. And she passed away December 22nd, 1983, right before Christmas there. And we had a very nice time. I mean, the sex wasn't great or anything like that, but she was just such a nice lady to me. And I was, we had a lot of fun together. We traveled all over the world. I still had my job. I still kept my job, but when she passed away, her family was starting to come after me. She left me a lot of money. She left me a couple $1 million there that she had left. I mean, she gave her kids some stuff, but she left me the bulk of it. They were very mad at me and sued me and, threatened me and all kind of crazy shit. Told me I was a freeloader. I really wasn't. I really loved the woman. Again, I mean, she was almost like an aunt to me, a mother figure. Yeah, I mean, we definitely did the dirty. I stuck it in there a few times too, but it was really more about companionship. She was much older than me, in her 60s, and by the time she died, I believe she was, 65, 66 years old. She got cancer. She got breast cancer. So yeah, so then, with all that drama going on there in Las Vegas, I had to get out of there. So I went to Miami.
Miami in the early 80s, huh?
Yep. Oh, Miami was a hell of a time in Miami, boy.
Let's hear it.
Hell of a time in fucking Miami. I get there in 1984.
Yep.
And if you ever seen anything on TV, Miami was happening in 1984, boy.
Yep.
There was a lot of drugs going on down there. I bought myself a speedboat.
Oh boy.
Bought a house a couple blocks from the beach. And and then I didn't really need any jobs at that point. I had my house, had a car, a speedboat, and a couple $1 million in the bank. And I hired a financial advisor and put, and just, put some money in stock market and all that, and I did pretty well for myself there. I bartended at some of the local bars, but basically, I worked part time, basically just to pay my bills and not to blow through any of the money. But yeah, I had a lot of fun in Miami, and I hooked up with Sal Magluta. You know who that is? You know who Sal Magluta
That
is?
does sound familiar.
One of the cocaine cowboys.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. I know you might not believe this, but I got a speedboat down there. I was in the circuit there with the speedboat. And, Sal and I were at a bar one time, and we hit up as a friendship. And, he liked me because I guess I was a good old boy. And he liked the idea. I was just like a simple guy. And we just, again, I had a lot of fun together. Sal was a crazy motherfucker, man. I seen him do some crazy motherfucking shit. But the girls, man, the ladies, they were everywhere.
Read that.
Everywhere. 1984. Holy shit.
You're nuts.
So, yeah, again, Sal would get me, like, jobs at bars, and, like, he'd come there at the bar and hang out at the bar with me, and he'd drink for free and whatever crazy shit went on. Lines of coke everywhere. Holy moly macaroni. But, yeah, that was great for a while, but then, Sal and the boys, they all got caught up there, and so that gravy train had flown away. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't want to. I never did anything bad. I just hung out with the fellas and had some fun with them, and watched them do crazy cocaine and fucking, bang strippers and shit. I mean, hell, I almost got in trouble with a stripper down there with them too.
I need you to hear this story, please.
You want to hear that story? Oh, shit,
Right.
that's a crazy story. It was like around maybe 1989, 1990. It was right before I left there. I left out of Miami in like 91, and that's when I met you fellas up in Pennsylvania. But, I was hanging out at the strip clubs with Sal and the boys, and, I was on 40, 41 years old, something like that. And this young lady, she take a liking to me. So we was hanging out, and, I didn't realize at the time, but she was clearly on drugs and looking for a sugar daddy. And, I guess I was the one, but, I was always cheap with my money, boy. I was always smart. The one thing I always did right, I fucked up a lot in my life, but I was always good with my money. But, I don't know what she was trying to do. But anyway, so we're hanging out some few times, and I'm not at the strip club the one night. She calls me all sad, crying. I hate this place. I don't want to work here no more. Come pick me up. So I go. I pick her up at the door. She's like, I want to go out and party, and I want to fuck on your boat. All right, that sounds good to me. I mean, hell, I like sticking it in. You know what I mean? You know that about me.
I did hear that about you.
Pretty clear. I like putting it in, taking it out, and putting it back in again. You know what I mean? So anyway, we go out, we have some dinner. And we get to the dock, and she wants to get on my boat. I got a speedboat, you know what I mean? I mean, it's not the greatest speedboat, it's not Sal's speedboat, but it's a speedboat. And she starts walking up, she's not paying attention. I'm like, sweetheart, Jeannie. Her name was Jeannie, that was her real name. Her stripper name was Mercedes. I said, Jeannie, you gotta watch out. You won't fall in. When you gonna fall? She's like, I'm fine. I guess she was all fucking high, but in any event, she falls in. She goes under. She don't come the fuck up for like 30 seconds. I thought my whole goddamn life flashed before my eyes. I'm on a goddamn speedboat with a coked out 22-year-old, from a strip club in a goddamn skimpy little outfit. They're gonna think I fucking killed her. Well, anyway, thank God she came up. She, help me, help me. Picked her up. Then she's like, I want to go out, take me out and get something to eat or something. She wanted to get something more to eat. I don't fucking know what she wanted. I'm like, but she's standing on the dock. It's now like 3 o'clock in the morning, and she's completely naked, and putting her schoolgirl outfit back on from the strip club. I'm like, baby, I'm not taking you anywhere. I don't think I'm a fucking child molester. But Dave, as you might learn, I'm not good at saying no to ladies. So I took that bitch out a couple more times.
Jesus Christ,
I took her out one time. We're driving on the highway there, going 120 miles an hour. And it was so bad. I was so drunk, so high, that girl got scared. It was at that point I knew it was time. It was time I needed to change my goddamn life or I was going to die. But, hey, strippers and cocaine, baby. Strippers and cocaine. It's a
hell of a drug.
Got a lot of people in trouble. But that bitch almost did me in. But anyway, that right around there was when Sal got himself in trouble. So it was just time. I had to get the hell out of there. So that's when I decided to move up to Pennsylvania. I bought it, I sold my house down in Miami, and I found a little farm, where I can raise some chickens, have a couple cows, and I can do some hunting. And that's what I did. That's what I decided to do. It wasn't like any real farming. I just had some animals, I slaughter some cows for food every once in a while. I had a pig or two, and some chickens. I had a couple goats. Mimi and Pawpaw, I called them. Mimi and Pawpaw were the two goats I had. And that's when I met you guys, you fellas. 1991. I was 42 years old. It was a good run up there in PA. I got bored, though, after a while. There's nothing going on. For a man to spend time in Vegas, the Summer of Love, 1967, Janis Joplin, in and out, Janis Joplin. And then with the Cocaine Cowboys in Miami, Northeast PA, it got pretty boring pretty fast. So I moved out of there, I guess, in 2002. I did last pretty long. And, I'm trying to maintain a quiet life, you know what I mean? I went into an old folks home, 55 over and over community in 2005 back in Florida. I moved down there. I left Northeast PA in 2002. I moved down to Delaware for a couple of years. I don't know, to be closer to my roots. I got boring and nothing really happened down there for those couple of years. Then I moved down to Florida because I heard all the older people moving down there. I said, that might be fun. So I went to a 55 and over community, and I was there for a little bit. But I got myself in trouble with another married lady.
Oh, boy.
And I had to get out of there. So, I moved back up here, I guess, about 5 years ago. And, I'm in another 55 over community in northern Delaware, close by here. I saw you on the Facebook and, hit up a friendship. I'm just hanging out, trying to keep out of trouble. Trying to only have sex with the widows.
Good plan.
Get away from the married ladies. Had enough of that. No strippers anymore. I do go to a strip club every now and again. I do go up here in Philadelphia. I do like the cheerleaders. It's a good one. I heard that you might have frequented that place a couple times. I'm surprised I didn't see you there. But in fairness, I've only been there a couple times, So that's what I'm doing. That's everything. That's where I am.
That's a hell of a ride, buddy. Jesus.
I'm 75 fucking years old. I'm just glad my heart's beating.
Hear that? you have any plans for the next 5 years?
A plan? Oh, shit. I don't have no fucking plan. My plan is just to live and maybe have sex a few more times, keep upping my Viagra prescription just in case. You know what I'm saying?
You're
Yeah.
incorrigible.
Because one thing you know about me, Dave, as I said before, I like to stick it in. I do.
You did say that, you creep. Do you have any regrets in life? Anything?
Oh, it's hard to say, Dave. Try not to think of life like that, but I guess I really wish I could have had the gumption to go look for my mama. I didn't try very hard, and that has stuck with me for a very long time, you know. And yeah, I guess I wish I could have known her. That's my only one regret. I guess I also regret, you know, just going after a bunch of women that I really couldn't have, you know. And I'm sure that all stems from my relationship or my non-relationship with my mama. But I always going after things that were really unattainable. You know, I attained them for a minute, but I fuck it all up. You know, I just wish I would have spent some of my time nurturing real relationships instead of going for a good old time and you know, looking for women to take care of me and women that I could take care of instead of like real relationships. You know, I do regret that some of that stuff.
What would the 18-year-old version of you think in the current version?
I think the 18-year-old version of me would have thought that I lived a pretty cool life. He'd be proud of that. I think he would have been sad that he never found his mama. Um, I think he would have been a little sad that I never settled down or had any children or any babies. But overall, I think he'd be proud of me, you know. Did a lot with my life. And, yeah. And, you know, without any family, I did a whole lot. And, I made a lot of good friends along the way. I didn't do a lot good with women, but I did make some friends, you know. I think he would be proud.
Do you have any advice for the 18-year-old version of you?
Get some fucking therapy and stop chasing women that you can't have. Stop fucking spending time on shit that don't mean anything, you know. I had a lot of fun, right? And I don't regret any of the fun that I had. I regret ruining relationships with other people because I was searching for something, you know, that I didn't have in my own childhood and, you know, in my own household. I don't know what the fuck I was, you know, I was searching for that motherly love, I guess, in the weirdest, strangest ways, and I never got it, you know. So I would tell them to stop doing that and to look at somebody your own age and in your own predicament and try to find a real relationship.
If you could talk to your dad, what would you say to him?
Well, first of all, I would ask him how he's doing, and I would be glad that I'd be able to talk to him because I don't mean he's in heaven. I mean, my daddy was a good man to me, but I would ask him why he didn't tell me, you know? And I would ask him why he didn't tell me about my mama and the truth about it and why he lied to me. You know, it hurt me for a really long time, and I was mad at him about that. A really, really long time. You know? I don't think it was necessary. He could have told me the truth. You know? That's the one thing. So I guess I would just ask him how he was doing, make sure he was okay, tell him I love him and I forgive him. But just why? And I think I know the answer, right? Because he thought he didn't want to hurt my feelings and want to grow up in a decent environment. But we could have still did that. He was a great man. You know, he was very good to me, and I loved him very much. So I guess it would be that.
How about your mom? What would you ask your mom?
Oh, Dave, I would ask her how. How could you do that to me? How could you just give up on me? How could you, you know? I understand, and I was told that she had to save her marriage and she had to all her kids and she hid the pregnancy and all that and had the baby and then just gave it off to my dad. But I mean, how could you not love me, And after thinking about it, for my 75 years, I would imagine that it broke her heart. But how could you do that? How can you have me? How can I come out of your body and then you never want to see me again? I don't understand it, And then I could think that's why I never really wanted to have kids, I could never want to do that to somebody else and break their heart like that. So I would just ask her why, and I would ask her how she's doing, try to get to know her. I guess that's it. And tell her I forgive her too, cause I can't keep that anger and that hatred and this dysfunction anymore. I can't do it. It's just better to forgive. Better to forgive.
What one person impacted you the most in your life?
One person that impacted me, it's hard to narrow down to one person. As a child, I guess it was my daddy, or really, you really could say not knowing my mama, so my mama in a way, just not being there, was a pretty large impact. And then there was women in my life that, really changed my life, the beautiful lady in San Diego, and my beautiful wife passed away in Las Vegas, Oh, and lots of little ladies that I had along the way, I fell in love so many times, Dave. I'm a lover, I am a lover.
How about an event that impacted your life the most?
An event that most impacted me, I guess I would say it was my dad had died when I was 16, It really changed my trajectory because, once I found out that he was gone and I didn't know my mama and he lied to me about my mama, I really set out on a really kind of a strange path, And I was catching up to myself. Hell, I was into my 40s before I calmed the fuck down, So yeah, I would say that my dad had died at 16 when I was 16 years old.
Do you have anything left on your bucket list that you want to accomplish?
On my bucket list? Well, hell, I did way too fucking much in my life. I don't think maybe the only thing is maybe to live fucking a couple years in normalcy, maybe that's it. Maybe, maybe just connecting with some friends and making sure, the last few years of my life I'm not lonely, I guess that's about it. That's about it.
Do you ever get caught having sex or catch anyone having sex?
Well, I almost got caught a lot of times, as you know already, because of my stories. But I was never actually caught having sex. I did, however, catch my auntie and uncle having sex one time. It was in the middle of the day. It was in the summer sometime. I was maybe 12 or 13 years old, and I came in from being doing my farm work, and they were in the kitchen. She was in a house dress with her underwear down to her knees, and he was banging her from behind. Yeah. They were not good looking people. She was very saggy. Thankfully, I don't have to look at her ass, and I had to see his big, ugly gut and his tiny little penis. But yeah, that's something you never really forget. It's kind of stuck in my mind, so I caught my auntie and uncle having sex in the kitchen in the middle of the day. Why they thought that was a good idea, I really don't know. But they didn't stop for me. I mean, I made a little bit of noise, but they just kept going on. I mean, I didn't yell at them or anything, but they seemed to be preoccupied, if you know what I'm saying.
Tell me about a time you shit your pants, please.
Wow, here you go. Now you're talking. Oh hell, I shit my pants a million times. Nothing all that memorable, but I've shit my pants on drives. I shit my pants because I didn't get, I didn't get off the tractor fast enough. Oh hell, I ruined a lot of underwear in my day, Dave. A lot of fucking underwear.
Thank you, Cletus. Me
Sure
too.
did.
Me too, buddy. Do you have any pee, puke, or fart stories that you would like to share?
Well, one night when I was in Miami, I puked on a young lady's back when we were having sex. Yep, I was drinking and drugging for a long time that night. And, going to town, and I just blew some chunks right on her. She didn't even know.
Oh my God!
She didn't even know. Yeah, yeah. I wiped it off with my shirt. I had my shirt on still when we were doing it, and I just grabbed the bottom of my shirt and I wiped it off. Act like I was petting her back, wiped it off and just kept going.
Of course you did.
I don't think she ever even knew,
You are a fucking character, my man. Oh shit.
I am not a perfect man, Dave. I am not a perfect man. No sirree.
None of us are, brother. I just appreciate your honesty. That's what makes me laugh. You're just so fucking honest. Alright, buddy, the last part of each episode I ask my guests 20 questions. You ready for these?
As Chris Stapleton would say, fire away, buddy.
Alright, let's go. First question, this is the Angry Dave podcast. I need to know what makes you angry.
What makes me angry? Just mean people. And husbands. Sorry, I'm just kidding. But, yeah, just mean people. People are mean for no reason. There's no reason to be mean.
I gotta get a hold on myself. You got me there, buddy. What makes you happy?
I'm happy when I'm having a conversation with a good person. I mean, this makes me happy, Just connecting with people, having good conversation.
If you could talk to any one person, dead or alive, who would that person be?
It would be my daddy. Definitely my daddy, for all the reasons we talked about. I just want to see how he's doing. Hopefully, if I can talk to him, it means he's in heaven. That'd be good. I want to see him someday.
If you could change one thing about the world, what would it be?
I would stop all wars, I guess. People dying for political reasons, right? Just wouldn't want people to die for no reason. I guess we'll get crazy people without guns. Now, I've owned a gun my whole life, and I believe in gun ownership, and I believe in the Second Amendment. But we do got to get crazy people guns out of their hands, And I think war number one. So a lot of people my age die in war. A lot of people come home and never be the same, War's never good. It's never good.
If you could change any one thing about yourself, what would that be?
A bigger, harder penis? I'm just kidding.
I fucking love you. You're such a goofball.
Seriously, though. I wish I would have been more kind to myself earlier in my life and, sought out relationships that mattered, and that were sustainable. That's what I would change about myself. Being better at real relationships with women.
What is your biggest fear?
Well, I guess my biggest fear would be just dying alone or being alone when I die. I worry that I'll be, I'll fall down and bump my head. I won't be able to move, and I'll be lying there for 5 days and the dog will eat me or something. You know? That's my biggest fear.
What is an everyday struggle for you? Something that you struggle with every day.
You know what I do, Dave? I never think that I lock the door. I always have to go back and check it 3 or 4 times, and then I leave, and I still think I didn't lock the door. I think I forgot to turn the gas range off, things like that. I struggle with worrying that I didn't do things at home and my house is going to blow up. I know it's weird.
I think a lot of people can relate to that. A lot of people struggle with stuff like that. What is your best quality?
I think my best quality is that I'm a quick friend. I'm very friendly. I give almost anybody a chance. And if I love you, I really love you. I'm loyal. And I'm all in, I'm all in on the friendships and love. And I'm just all in. That's me.
What is your worst quality, in your opinion?
Oh, hell, well, my worst quality is probably on the flip side of that. I don't have a whole lot of boundaries in my life. Like, I haven't had a whole lot of boundaries. It makes it for a fun time, but sometimes I wreck my life. I wreck other people's lives because, if I want something, I go and get it, Trying to get better at that. I'm working on that still. 75 years old and I'm still working, But that has been my worst quality in my life.
What's the most unreasonable thing about you?
My most unreasonable quality, probably just what I just said to you, is that if I want it, I go get it, and I'm a motherfucker if I don't get it. I'm a little bitch if I don't get my way. Yeah, I can be a real bitch and a real pain in the ass. So I guess I'm kind of stubborn that way.
If and when you sing karaoke, what is your favorite karaoke song to sing?
Well, I got friends in low places where the whiskey dry and the bear chases my blows away. Yeah, I'll be okay. Yep, that's my favorite. I love singing Friends in Low Places by Garth Brooks.
What type of music do you love and what type of music do you hate?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love country. Type of music I hate, like death metal or something like that, like people just screaming into a microphone. I don't like that. I actually don't hate I don't dislike most types of music. I like some of a little bit of everything. Nothing wrong with some Kanye West every now and again.
Kanye, huh?
I know you're surprised that I would like that, but I do. You know what I mean?
What annoys you most about other people?
I get annoyed by just people that are rude. I just don't like people that are rude. There's no reason to be fucking rude and mean to people, in public. Yeah, that's all.
If you were ever arrested, what would your friends think you got arrested for? Why would you be in jail?
If I were arrested, yeah, my friends would think that one of those pappies caught up with me, finally. And I had to beat the shit out of them. Yep, I think that would be it. That would be it. Somebody finally caught up with me with all the nonsense that I caused in my life. Yeah, some angry old man finally caught me, and I had to slap the shit out of him.
That's 100% right. Yep. If you could have any superpower, what would that superpower be?
I would love a superpower to get rid of these wrinkles in this old man body. Yep, that's what I would like, so I could bang some young ladies again. That was a lot of fun, and I missed that one.
I'm really glad I don't have daughters.
Yeah, I would like a superpower of never getting older. How about that? That's what I would like.
What is the best place or greatest vacation spot you have ever been to? What's the most memorable place?
I once went to Colombia, to the coast of Colombia, and I had a real beautiful time there. It's a beautiful place, a beautiful women. Yeah, nice and warm. Did I mention beautiful women?
You did mention the beautiful women.
Colombia. I love it there.
Do you have any advice for others that you don't necessarily follow yourself? Anything?
You know what I tell? I tell everybody, look at me. Don't do what I do. Don't be me. That's what I tell them. I do a lot of shit that I know that I shouldn't do. I've done a lot of shit in my life that I know I shouldn't do. But I did it because it was fun, because it felt good at the time, because I thought I was in love. I did a lot of things. I really don't regret most of them. So, yeah, if you don't want trouble, don't do what I do. That's what I tell people.
And the other thing is, friends, keep your wives indoors, right?
Oh, shit, Dave, you. Oh, shit, motherfucker. Damn, you little motherfucker.
All right, you know, like to
Listen, I ain't never fuck with my friends' wives, just so you know.
Okay.
And if you don't want people to fuck with your wife, take care of her. Pay attention to her. Love her. Those type of women don't come after a guy like me.
No, that's right.
I just give women things that they're missing. That's why I've always been successful with married women. Because you motherfuckers ain't paying attention to them. But I ain't never did that to a friend. I just want everybody to know that. You little whippersnapper motherfucker.
I gotcha. Still strange models, buddy, but I guess there's some. If you had a warning label on you, what would your warning label say?
But to answer your question, I guess my warning label would be, hey stranger, take care of your wife, or else Cletus is waiting there for her.
I guess some people never learn, huh? All right, last question, Uncle Cletus. You lived a long and interesting life. When it's all said and done, what do you want to be most remembered for? Anything?
When it's all said and done, Dave, I just want to be known for somebody that loved hard, cared a lot, was good to his friends, and was a decent human being, you know? That's all. I just want to be known as a decent human being that loved and knew how to have a good time, I guess. Yeah. Loved hard, played hard, knew how to have a great time, and was a great friend to his friends, and a great lover to his women. Amen.
Amen. Hey, buddy, you know, I had a really nice time reconnecting with you. I'm really glad you came up here to do this. You know, please don't be a stranger. You know, we love you here. We'll love to have you back in our lives, all right? So, I'll see you soon, all right? Please, I'll see you soon.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me. I really enjoyed it. It was really nice catching up with you and your family. It was good to see you, Dave.
Good to see you too, man.
Yeah, I promise I won't be a stranger. I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna come down. I'm gonna see you. I'm gonna see your house in Jersey. I want to see that house. All
Absolutely,
right?
anytime, man. Anytime.
All right, man. Till next time.
That's my line, you son of a bitch. You taking over my show? I would love for you to do this again sometime. Maybe I'll get some more of your crazy 60 stories or crazy Miami stories next time.
Yeah, let's do this again. I'll do this again. All right, buddy. Take care now.
All right, everybody. Until next time, we're out.
I'm out, y'all, too. I'm out, too.
Peace. get this special knowledge that Uncle Cletus, if you didn't know, is this fictitious character that I made up in my head about 35 years ago that has been in there for a long time. I finally put him out and gave him a full story. So I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe I'll do some more episodes of Cletus in the future and get his perspective on life and his love of women and love of married women and sex and crazy Forrest Gump like stories. So thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it.